Greetings, duelists, and welcome to another video. So, we're going to talk about Clown Clan. So, uh, a few new cards got revealed over the past weekend. Those cards are coming out in Chaos Origins, which is our next main booster set after Blazing Dominion. And these cards that we're about to show are cards involving the Clown Crew or Clown Clan. And I actually do think that these cards actually really fixes almost everything that was needed in the deck. It kind of helps with the consistency of this strategy as well. And it kind of gives it the identity that it needs. I really do like this archetype. I actually do think it's a lot of fun. I think it has a lot more potential than people are giving it credit for. And these new cards that are about to be revealed are going to show you just exactly how this deck is supposed to be played and like how needed those cards are for the strategy. But without further ado, let's begin. Before we talk about the new Clown Clan cards, I kind of want to talk about a few things I overlooked or I missed when it came to this archetype. The first thing I didn't notice is outside of the Power Patron build, this deck can play Dominus Purge. Every single Clown Clan is a light attribute monster, which leaves room for a lot of shenanigans. Dominus Purge being like the most notable one. I talked about how if you're playing the Power Patron build with the Mitsu cards, you should consider Dominus Impulse because these cards are basically just fodder for your other cards. And your win condition is Sophia and or like Vidrium. But if you're not playing the Power Patron build and you're playing a more purish build, then you should consider Dominus Purge. There's another card to consider. You will see later on, like when we talked about the new cards. But that's one thing I overlooked. Another thing I overlooked with this archetype is this card is pretty much perfect for this deck. Nerva, the Power Patron of Creation, can be summoned by tributing 3 monsters with different types, which means if you tribute 3 Clown Clans, you don't get its effect because of the restrictions behind like some of these cards. However, this is a 3300 beater, and like this triggers to return a card, this triggers to set a trap, like this triggers to add a spell. Like you can shuffle like fusions, synchros, XYZs. Like depending on what you're needing to get rid of, like you can just naturally just get rid of cards with just your engine because of the existence of Nerva. Nerva also helps with the matinee count, with the matinee draw count. This just tributes 3 monsters, so it means that if you don't have like Mr. Face available, you can just tribute them all for this one, and Matinee will get you at least 3 draws. Which is another thing I overlooked with this archetype. But without further ado, let's now talk about the new cards. So the first card that we're going to talk about is called Clown Clan Hat. And this card, it reads, during your main phase, you can send 1 non-Pendulum Clown Crew card from your deck to your graveyard. And if you do, special summon this card from your Pendulum Zone. Also, until the end of the turn, you cannot activate from the deck or extra deck. Yep. You can only use this effect once per turn. If you tribute summoned, if you control tribute summon monsters your opponent controls lose 1500 defense. If I'm not mistaken, this does have piercing. I don't remember if one of these monsters had piercing, but outside of that, I don't see so much relevance out of losing 1500 defense. You can activate one of these effects if it's tributed. You can either shuffle all pendulums, or special summon one Pendulum Clown Clan monster from your deck or extra deck. So this card's incredible. You kind of need a little bit more context involving why this card is really good. But before we get into the real reason why this card is good, let's talk about the fact that we already knew that we were getting a Pendulum monster. Mr. Face just mentions links and pendulums, so it was only a matter of time until we got a link on a pendulum. This is the Pendulum monster. Now we have, until we see the link monsters, now we have another mechanic of cards that you can just shuffle back into the deck, which means that the NIKKE matchup becomes a lot easier for you than it was before. Another really cool thing is that just being able to summon a Clown Clan from your extra deck during the summoning condition is really strong, because this means one more number for Viridium and one more number for Sophia. Like, we already talked about these two cards and how eventually somebody will abuse them in Clown Clan. This card just really helps with that. So yeah, it's only a matter of time. Like, we're really good card. Now let's talk about the other reason this card is really good. So all the Clown Clan spell and traps outside of Matinee all have a graveyard effect. You can send New Face and it resets itself. You can send Soiree, it becomes a quick tribute as a trap card. You can send Rehearsal and this will become a ritual summon. You can send Malabrism and this can actually become a card bounce. Although you have to be careful with Malabrism, you cannot do that effect the same turn you send it to the grave, which is a fair restriction. That would have made this card the best card in the deck. But yeah, let's see another example of another card that you can send. You can Soiree, New Face you can send, and now you got a new trap, and that new trap is called Clown Clan Finale. So it is quite a finale. Fun fact, this is the last card revealed from the set, from this archetype. So it is actually the finale of Clown Clan, and this kind of already, like, this already gives it away. This is probably gonna be the last Clown Clan card that we're getting, at least for a while. And so what this card does is, if you control a tribute summoned monster, discard any number of cards, then target that many face-up cards on the field, destroy them. You can banish this card from your graveyard and tribute one Ritual Fusion, Synchro XYZ, Pendulum, or Link monster from your hand or field. Add one Clown Clan monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand with a different level rank Link rating than the tributed monsters. You can only use each effect of Clown Clan Finale once per turn. The first effect is kind of okay. It is a board wipe. You can end on this on your turn when you do your entire Clown Clan rotation by setting it with Diablo. But the real kicker out behind this card, and the reason this card is really good, is because it makes Hat become a one-card starter. And let me show you. So let's say we only start with Clown Clan Hat, right? You can use Clown Clan Hat. Hat will send the finale. Clown Clan Hat will summon itself. And now you can use the finale, banish it, tribute the Hat, and you can add Flare. And Flare has a different level from Hat, so this is a legal add from finale. Now Clown Clan Hat is going to trigger, and Clown Clan Hat is going to give us a Clown Clan monster. And now we're getting Clown Clan Devils. So now you're going to use Clown Clan Flare, you're going to add Rehearsal, and you're going to discard the Flare. You're going to activate Rehearsal, tribute the Devils, add Malabrism, add Mr. Face, use Devil's Effect, you add Matinee, you activate Matinee, you activate Malabrism. Another thing I didn't know about Matinee, I think that's how it's ruled. and I think that's gonna be ruled in the TCGs as the same way. And I know a lot of people will ask about that. I think the draw effect of this card is retroactive. So you already have one draw from the Tributed Flare and the Tributed Devil. So that's already 2 draws out of Matinee. We're going to use Malabrism. We're going to summon those 2, tribute those 2 from Mr. Face. You're going to have a Chain Link 3. You return the Flare. You set the Soiree. You draw 2 cards. You banish Rehearsal. Tribute. This is just another weird example of just how good the Mitsurugi build is. You can use Rehearsal to tribute like Habakiri or tribute whatever Mitsurugi you play, which already makes this version of the deck like a lot stronger. Because fun fact, you can tribute a Mitsurugi for Finale. It does say Ritual, any Ritual. So imagine you just tributing a Murakumo, you add your Clown Clan card, and then you just add Habakiri. Yeah, let's think about that another time. Anyway, let's go. Let's just grab it back. We're not gonna do Mitsurugi shenanigans for this combo. Just ignore the 2 draws. We're going to go to end phase, and we get 5 draws out of Matinee because we tributed a Ritual, which is the Flare. We tributed Devils. We tributed Diablo. We tributed Meteor, and we tributed Cat. And this counts for all of them, including the Pendulum. This is Spellbook of Judgment level Carnage. And I know Spellbook of Judgment is already been power crept, but, you know, hear me out. Like, back in the day, that card used to be really strong because of the tempo of the format. We're now reaching a tempo format again. And if the format stays the way that it is, with Radiant Typhoon and like Draco Tail and Vanquish Soul being like the better decks of the format, I actually do wholeheartedly think this deck can keep up with those decks if you resolve something like Matinee. But yeah, going back to Finale, fantastic cards. It makes Hat your starter. Now let's talk about the last card, and that card is Dorish. Dorish is a Link 2 monster, and the materials are 2 Rituals, Fusions, Synchros, XYZ, or Pendulums. Now I can show this slide. So, the thing about Dorish, we'll read Dorish's effect real quick. So, if this card is distributed, you can activate one of these effects. Also, it gives a passive effect to tribute summon monsters to attack twice, which is pretty cool for tempo games. Again, you don't want to go into time with this deck. You just want to end the game as quick as possible. Now, returning a links, that's perfectly normal. Each player shuffles their hand into the deck and draws that many cards. We got Mulligan as part of our engine. That's also really good because not many decks have Mulligan like effects as part of their like strategy, and this is really good for consistency, especially if you're playing the Power Patron build, where you're probably like trying to dig for specific cards into your Sophia or your Vidrium win condition. Yeah, this card is really good. Now let's talk about another reason why Dorish is good. This is a Link 2 monster. I thought we were getting a Link 1. The Link 2 is a really big deal because it means you can summon Underworld Goddess really easily in this deck. Which means this deck now has a natural out to do Towers monsters like Lunalite. And your Lunalite opponent has to think twice before letting you resolve your Clown Con cards, because eventually you'll just have enough bodies to just take away their monsters and just summon Underworld Goddess. Another monster that is not in here, but you can also play in this deck that is also really easy to summon is the Zothonia, the Gorgon. That monster also doesn't activate its effects, so it is also a Lunalite out or a Towers out in strategies. And this deck can also summon it really quickly. Yeah. And adding to that, this deck can play Harmonia, this deck can play Dominus Purge. You can play Dominus Spark too in this deck, which is another scary thing about this strategy. This is a Beast Warrior, so it can be summoned with Tri-Brigades. I don't know how relevant that could be if you're playing Tri-Brigades like as a strategy, but I felt like it was worth the mention at the very least. Also, this can summon Shureg as well, because it is a Tri-type. So yeah, I think that's it. That's all I have for Clown Clan. I think this is a very, very cool deck. I think this is a very cool strategy. And there's a lot of things you can do in this deck, honestly. Chaos Origins has already thrown out 2 bangers. I haven't seen a miss from that set so far. And best believe I will be playing this deck someday in the future. I actually really do like what the circus is offering. Alright, until next time, keep practicing and keep dueling.